I'm the villainous side character, and the male lead is my lifelong rival. When I regained awareness of this world, he had just been drugged. According to the original plot, the heroine was supposed to walk into the wrong room, have an ambiguous encounter with the male lead, and begin a 3-million-word-long angst-filled romance. Because I felt sorry for her, I let her into my room instead. Just as I was picking up my phone, ready to snap some photos of the male lead's sorry state and make fun of him later, he actually pulled me in. He bit my earlobe, his voice low and seductive. Baby, just relax. 1. Samuel and I have never gotten along, just because our moms are best friends, and he's slightly better than me at everything. My mom kept nagging me to learn from him and even begged him to look after me. What a joke. Who the hell needs him to look after me? I really don't. He always came first in class. Well, I was always last. Still, first. No, he's the school heartthrob and a straight-A student, then I'm the school heartthrob and the resident bad boy. It's not like I look any worse than him. Plus, I run this place, my turf, my rules. That's one more title than him. So technically, I win. But this bastard doesn't play fair, always sticking his nose where it doesn't belong. The day I challenged the other school's leader to a fight, this idiot went and called my mom, right in front of all my boys. I got dragged away by the ear, scolded like a little kid, instant humiliation. From then on, everyone knew my name, but not in a good way. I've held that grudge for 10 whole years, so when I saw someone slipping something into Samuel's drink, I didn't stop them. In fact, I followed him after he drank it, ready to enjoy the show. And that's when it hit me. A wave of memories flooded my head. Turns out, this world I live in is from a novel called Where Are You Running, Sweetheart? The dominant CEO's relentless love. Samuel, my lifelong nemesis, is the male lead. At a party, someone drugs him. Then he runs into the equally drugged female lead, Sophia. One night of chaos follows. The next morning, Samuel denies everything. He's convinced Sophia set him up, her family's gone bankrupt, and he thinks she's trying to marry her way back up. And yeah, that night, Sophia got pregnant. Samuel's mother, obsessed with heirs, forces him to marry her. Samuel ends up resenting her even more. When his one true love, the white moonlight, returns from abroad, Sophia is tricked, loses the baby, gets her kidney stolen, suffers memory loss. Basically, a long chain of misery. And after all that torture, they actually get a happy ending? I don't get it. Seriously, I'm stunned. And what's even worse, despite being this good looking, I'm the pathetic villain in this story. Sure, I liked messing with Samuel, but I was also the first one to see that deep down, he actually liked Sophia. So every time he hurt her emotionally or physically, I'd swoop in to comfort her, playing the caring, gentle, big brother role. She started to trust me. Eventually, I fell for her too. I wanted to take her away. I even bet my family's entire business fighting Samuel for her. Of course, the male lead's plot armor is too strong. He won. I went bankrupt. And what did Sophia tell me in the end? She wouldn't come with me, because she realized she'd loved Samuel all along. I didn't buy it. No way I'd lose to him. So I snapped. I kidnapped her. But I failed. Samuel sent me to prison. And I died in there after years of torment, too. Alright, fine. So this is how it goes. Ha! All that suffering, kidney theft, imprisonment, and in the end, they still get their happy ending. I was the biggest joke of the whole story. Just as I pulled myself out of those thoughts, I heard someone calling out for help. Help, please help me. It was Sophia. Her eyes were glazed over, body weak, barely standing as she stumbled toward me, leaning on the wall for support. Behind her were a few shady-looking guys, clearly up to no good. She looked like she couldn't hold on much longer. She dug her nails into her palm to force herself awake for just a second, then collapsed at my feet, whispering over and over again, "Please, help me." I looked down at her, sprawled at my feet. Her skin was porcelain white, and her face was the kind you'd see hyped up on magazine covers. Even someone like me, who's seen my fair share of pretty girls, had to admit, she was stunning. Too bad she had terrible taste. Thinking about how she fell for Samuel and how she drove me to madness in the story. Yeah, I couldn't bring myself to feel anything for her. The guys chasing her stopped short when they saw me. The one in front clearly recognized who I was and tried to act tough. "We saw her first," he said. I gave them a blank stare. Scram. These guys clearly had bad intentions. Say what you want. Joke all you like. Even if Sophia had no taste in men, that doesn't mean I had no morals. Especially not when the girl's this delicate and soft-looking. I hesitated for a second, but in the end, I couldn't just stand there. With a cold face, I bent down and scooped her up into my arms. You can have any woman you want, one of them said, trying to argue. Why this one? I cut him off with a glare. She's with me now. Say one more word, and I'll make sure you never show your face in Haicheng again. Not trying to brag, but I've got the power to back that up. I carried her into my hotel room and laid her down on the bed. The drug was clearly hitting hard. Sophia was biting her lip, eyes full of fear and alertness as she watched me. Relax, I said. I'm not a creep. I'm not gonna touch you. Even if I do like someone, I'd never take advantage of them. Besides, I was mostly just curious about her, the so-called female lead. After making sure she was okay, I went to the bathroom, filled the bathtub with cold water, and carried her in. As soon as her body hit the cold water, her eyes started to clear. Seeing that she was doing better, I picked up my phone and went to check on Samuel. Once I got a good shot of him looking pathetic, then I'd call a doctor. No rush. 3. I didn't expect this. The moment I opened the door, I got yanked inside. The door slammed shut behind me with a loud bang. Samuel dragged me in with force. Samuel, snap out of it. I struggled, yelling at him as he gripped my arm. Where the hell did this guy get all this strength? Has he been secretly working out behind my back? Before I could figure it out, he threw me hard onto the soft bed. A wave of panic surged through me. Don't tell me, just because I saved the female lead, now I'm the one who has to get entangled with the male lead. But I'm a guy. Then I met Samuel's eyes, dark and hazy, with a flicker of something dangerous. The normally cold and distant look in his gaze was now laced with desire. He leaned in, his towering frame pressing down on me with the scent of cedar all over him. Samuel, don't tell me you've gone so far off the rails you don't even care about gender anymore. I pushed at his chest, but he quickly grabbed both my wrists and pinned them above my head. Little Michael, his hot breath hit my face, his voice low and confused. The second I heard that nickname, I exploded. Little, your whole family's little. Then a searing kiss cut me off, stealing the words from my mouth. With my hands restrained and lips locked, I couldn't do a damn thing. Cursing him in my mind, I bit back with my own lips, refusing to lose. But in the end, Samuel still won. I had no choice but to surrender as he took control, relentless and overwhelming. By the time I was nearly out of breath from the kiss, I felt a chill down my spine. He shifted positions, holding me tightly, his lips brushing against my ear. His voice was deep and tempting. Baby, relax. Ah, Samuel, how dare you? He kissed me again, swallowing my protest in the heat of breath and skin. And in that moment, I learned something very clear, very real. He wasn't little at all. By the end, my voice was completely hoarse, but Samuel still wouldn't let me go. He gently wiped the tears from the corners of my eyes with his thumb and whispered in that coaxing tone again. Little Michael, just one more time. I promise. Last one. 4. The result of that insane night, I passed out for 2 damn days. When I finally woke up, I was lying on my stomach. Samuel was applying medicine to me. Sorry, I lost control, he said softly. Don't move. The doctor said there are some tears. You need to rest properly for a few days. I glared at him, my whole body sore. Like hell, it's not your fault. Where are my clothes? I rubbed my temples, recalling that madness from 2 nights ago. My clothes were probably shredded beyond saving. Samuel seemed to remember too. His ridiculously handsome face turned red, and his ears were practically glowing. I'll call someone to send over new clothes right away. Right then, my stomach growled loudly. Samuel quickly spoke up. You've been out for so long. Want to eat something first? I nodded, not even realizing how gentle his voice had become. After all that physical exhaustion, and 2 days without food, I dug in like a starving beast. Unsurprisingly, I choked. Cough, cough. My face turned red from lack of air. Samuel handed me water and gently patted my back. After eating, I lay back down to rest again. Still no clothes delivered. I was getting irritated, so I turned to Samuel and said, "Take off your clothes." His face turned beet red. "Ryan, you're not healed yet." I froze for a second, then my face flushed hot. My voice shot up in pitch. "I meant give me your clothes to wear. I've got things to do." What the hell is this guy thinking about all day? Even though Samuel had already helped me clean up that night, I still took another shower. My body was covered in deep purple bruises, and the ones on my neck were especially obvious. Even clothes couldn't hide them. I cursed Samuel to hell and back in my mind. His clothes didn't fit right. He's taller than me, so they hung a little loose on my frame. I tightened the waistband, then rushed back to my own hotel room. Sophia was long gone, didn't even leave a number. Seriously? I risked everything to save her, and she didn't even leave a thank you. This is the heroine. Really? 5. The longer I stayed in that hotel, the angrier I got. I figured I might as well just go home. As soon as I got back, I went straight to my room. The original plot kept flashing through my mind, but more than that, Samuel's face from that night wouldn't stop showing up. Damn it. I buried my face into the pillow, filled with a mix of shame and rage. Samuel and Sophia hadn't even met yet in the current timeline. So, that night, did he mistake me for his white moonlight, the ex who went abroad? He used me as a damn substitute. Samuel, you bastard, I will get my revenge. I sat up on the bed, clenching my fists and slamming them into the mattress. The more I thought about it, the angrier I got. Aff! Suddenly, I let out a sharp yelp. Ow! 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 Mom! My mom had snuck up and was now twisting my ear hard. She pointed at the bruises on my neck with an accusing glare. Michael, Samuel told me you were helping him with a project. I thought you were finally growing up, but turns out you've just been out messing around. Look at these marks on your neck. Really playing around. Ha! Mom, I've let you get away with enough nonsense over the years. Didn't I say I wouldn't stop you from dating? We don't care about status or background in this family. If you're seeing someone, bring them home and let me meet them. But you promised you weren't seeing anyone. I even arranged for you to meet Mrs. Song's daughter. You agreed to it. But where were you that day? Mom, just let go first. I'll explain. I swear I'll explain. She huffed and sat down nearby while I rubbed my burning ear. Seriously, only a real mom can twist your ear until it's about to fall off. Don't fake it. It can't hurt that much. Her voice was full of sarcasm. You said you had an explanation. Well, start explaining. She glared at me, her expression darker than the bottom of a pot. I got those bruises from cupping. My throat was sore a few days ago, so I went to the hospital and had them do it. I made something up on the spot, even faking a couple of coughs for effect. Michael, do you think your mom is stupid? She looked around the room for something to hit me with. When she couldn't find anything, she just took off her slipper, ready to smack me. I bolted. She chased me for a few steps, then stopped, fuming, and suddenly burst into tears. Mom, I walked up to her. Michael, you're 25 this year. You're not a kid anymore. Can't you just learn a thing or two from your Samuel? Learn? From him? The bruises all over my neck, weren't those thanks to her precious golden boy? 6. I didn't dare tell my mom what really happened that night with Samuel. To keep her calm, I had to lie and say I actually had a girlfriend. My mom didn't believe me at first, so I said it was Sophia, but that we'd had some arguments recently, and once things settled down, I'd definitely bring her home to meet her. That softened my mom's expression quite a bit. She glanced quickly at my neck, then spoke more gently. Son, I know you're young and just started dating, full of passion, but you still have to control yourself before marriage. Don't scare the poor girl away, okay? Just as I managed to soothe my mom and she left, the hotel phone rang. Sir, did you leave something behind? Housekeeping found a bag in your room with some IDs inside. A bag? I'm not a woman. What bag? I was about to hang up when suddenly Sophia came to mind. When I saved her that day, she did have a bag. I probably tossed it somewhere on the bed because it was in the way. Wait, if Sophia left on her own after waking, why didn't she take her stuff? My brow furrowed. Could those bastards have come back after I left? Damn it, Logan, check the security footage immediately. I want all surveillance from the 12th floor hallway from the night before last. At the hotel, I went straight to the monitoring room. Logan was sweating, working to pull up the footage from that night. The video showed someone sneaking into my room 15 minutes after I left. What confused me was, it was a woman. Her face was covered by a mask, and she wore a coffee-colored trench coat. Sophia was being helped out by her, draped in that woman's coat. Who the hell is this? That wasn't in the original plot. Did me messing with the story ruin the entire storyline? Zoom in on this shot, I said, pointing at the moment when the woman looked up. Even with the mask, I felt like I'd seen her somewhere before. Once I confirmed she wasn't one of those other bastards, I called Gabriel to check up on Sophia's recent situation. Logan walked me to the lobby, and a waiter approached. Logan, a lady said she left her bag in one of our rooms a couple days ago. Sophia? Could it really be a coincidence? Before I could think more, a familiar female voice called out excitedly. You're here too. Thanks for what you did that night. She bowed deeply to me. It really was Sophia. 7. That bag in my room belongs to this lady. Please take it and return it to her. I said that, and Logan and the waiter wisely left us alone. Sophia thanked me again. If you want to thank me properly, words won't cut it, I said. She paused, then asked, what do you want? You have to understand, after that night, I lost all my innocence. I even got beaten up at home, so it wouldn't be too much to ask her to help me deal with my mom for a bit, right? I want you. I pointed at Sophia. Her face instantly went pale, and her tone was angry. You saved me that night, and I'm grateful, but I'm a person, a living, breathing person. You can't insult me like that. Sophia's voice trembled, her eyes red and glistening. No, want isn't a verb here. Who said I'm insulting you? What are you imagining? I've got looks, money, everything except a girlfriend. I just want you to help me deal with my mom. How does that turn into insulting you? After a long explanation, Sophia finally believed me. There's no time like the present. On the third day, I took her to my place. I have to admit, the female lead really was charming. My mom liked her a lot. Not only did she give her a big red envelope, she also invited her to go shopping together sometime. This is for you. Sophia handed me a thick red envelope. I glanced at it but didn't take it. She just held it up persistently. No need. Since it's from my mom, you keep it. I don't care about a little money. Then I added, consider it your payment. After dropping Sophia off, some friends invited me for drinks. Night deepened, and the driver dropped me off at home. I staggered toward the door when suddenly a man's voice called out, Michael. Someone appeared out of nowhere, startling me sober enough to notice. What are you doing here? I looked at Samuel in confusion. This guy is something else, staying out late and then showing up at someone else's doorstep. I heard you have a girlfriend now. His tone was icy, eyes deep and angry. No doubt my mom's big mouth had leaked the news. Yeah, I yawned lazily, not noticing how dark Samuel's face was getting. So, about that night. Stop. Before he could finish, I cut him off. I've never been so embarrassed in my life. That was an accident. I didn't take it seriously. You shouldn't either. Forget it. He gave a bitter laugh, then asked, do you really like Sophia that much? What's it to you? I'm warning you, she's mine now. My mom likes her too. Don't get any ideas. Even though my relationship with Sophia was fake, I couldn't let this psycho Samuel treat her like in the original story. Thinking that, I realized just how kind I really was. After a long silence, he smiled bitterly. Ryan, I won't give up. With that, Samuel walked away, leaving me standing there. Won't give up. Give up what? Sophia. Maybe. 8. Sure enough, Sophia got recruited into Samuel's company. She even became his personal assistant. That relentless bastard. I was angry, though I didn't know why. What surprised me even more was that Samuel's white moonlight had come back early. She asked me to meet her. At the coffee shop, Olivia was scratching the chin of a white cat in her arms. The cat purred happily with its eyes half closed. You came back to the country but didn't contact your old flame. Why meet me? I sat boldly across from her. Thinking about how Samuel mistook me for her that night made my anger flare up, and my tone got harsh. I want to discuss a business deal. She looked up, not at all fazed by my attitude. Her delicate features were 6 parts similar to Sophia's. Her gaze locked onto me, a flash of calculation in her eyes. A deal? I sneered, clearly unimpressed. Olivia grew anxious and stopped petting the cat, fearing I'd leave. I can help you take down Samuel. I frowned, thinking I misheard. Take down Samuel? Olivia noticed and added, don't pretend you're surprised. I know you two are mortal enemies, but don't you like him? I asked. In the original story, Olivia often sabotaged Sophia for Samuel's sake. Now she says she wants to bring him down. No, that's definitely wrong. Could it be, she woke up too? I tested the waters. What if I told you our world is actually a novel, and we're just characters inside it? Would you believe me? Hearing this, Olivia got excited. You're a transmigrator too. Transmigrator? You mean you entered this novel's world? Since Olivia knew I'd figured out her secret, she just spilled everything. She read this book and thought the author was an idiot, always torturing the female lead. She wrote a scathing review and suddenly transmigrated inside. Realizing Sophia's tragic fate hadn't even begun yet, she rushed back to the country. She was the one who rescued Sophia from my room that day. At first, it was all so urgent she didn't realize the plot had changed. She thought with the story altered, all the female lead suffering scenes would disappear too. But who knew? 9. After thinking it over, Olivia came to me. I originally thought you were a rebirth, so you saved Sophia ahead of me. Since we have the same goal, and you and Samuel don't get along, why don't we team up and take him down? I rejected Olivia's idea. Sure, Samuel and I don't get along, and I do want to get back at him, but I'm nowhere near wanting to destroy him completely. Not to mention our two families cooperate in many areas, and my mom is close with his mom. If I did something like that, I wouldn't even have to face Samuel. My mom would probably kill me at home first. Right after leaving the cafe, my phone pinged with a WeChat message from my mom. Son, pick Sophia up tonight to come have dinner at home. Your godmother also wants to meet her. Great. My mom was totally charmed by Sophia. When I got downstairs at the company building, Sophia hadn't left work yet. Seeing I had some time, I decided to play a few games. There was nothing better to do, so I found a spot and started playing. But my teammates were terrible, and we kept losing. I refused to give up, so I kept playing, not realizing how much time had passed until it got dark. Finally, I won. Checking my watch, it was already 8:53 p.m. Why wasn't Sophia off work yet? My phone had died from no battery, so I took the elevator upstairs to find her myself. At the CEO's office, only Samuel was there, sitting at his computer with his fingers pinching the bridge of his nose. No one else in sight. Samuel, where's Sophia? His eyes brightened when he saw me, but dimmed when I said the name. She just left. Didn't you see her? No. Could it be we just perfectly missed each other, me coming up as she went down? I was thinking this when suddenly everything went dark in front of me. Samuel appeared out of nowhere, standing so close I could smell the cold fur scent on him. For some reason, that night flashed through my mind again. Lost in thought, my chin was suddenly pinched painfully. Samuel, what the hell are you pinching my face for? I yelled, waving my hands at him. He grabbed my wrist tightly and looked straight into my eyes. Is she the only one you see? Ryan, we've grown up together. Can't you even look at me? There was so much sadness in Samuel's eyes it almost spilled over, and his voice was full of grievance. I froze. Did he mean what I thought he meant? Was I hallucinating from too much gaming, or was Samuel crazy? What are you talking about? Samuel's words stunned me, and my mouth went dry. 10. His gaze locked onto mine, the corners of his eyes slightly red, a mocking smile playing on his lips. Ryan, do you really want to keep pretending? I told you, I won't give up on you. Samuel's breath swept over me, and my mind went blank. His kiss was forceful, probing my lips inch by inch with a pressure that left no room to refuse, almost suffocating. I started struggling fiercely. His eyes flickered, and his large hand cupped the back of my head. I'm going to suffocate here. I bit down on his tongue as it reached for me, and while he recoiled in pain, I pushed him back, stumbling a few steps. Crazy, Samuel was crazy. He liked me. I ran out of the building as if fleeing for my life. My foot twisted from running so fast. Before I could catch my breath, I heard Sophia's cries for help nearby. What are you doing? I limped forward and shouted loudly, and unsurprisingly, I got tied up too. I don't know how long the ride was. Sophia and I were dragged out of the car. Why is there an extra one? With a blindfold on, I could only recognize a young male voice. The kidnapper beside me shoved me, grinning apologetically. Owen, we ran into this kid while kidnapping, so we had no choice but to bring him along. Footsteps approached, and someone yanked the blindfold off my head. We were in an abandoned warehouse smelling of mold and decay. From the kidnapper's chatter, I pieced together the truth behind Sophia's abduction. Owen was a known thug, deeply in debt from years of gambling. He was once hospitalized and ended up sharing a room with Sophia's dad. He heard Sophia worked at the company and was Samuel's assistant, even spotting her getting out of luxury cars a few times. He naturally assumed Sophia was being kept as a mistress. Desperate for money, he planned this kidnapping. David, untie this girl, Owen ordered, and David untied Sophia's ropes. Owen, smoking, tossed a bag to Sophia. Take out your phone and call Samuel. Don't worry, once the money's in, we'll let you go immediately. Sophia hesitated. It's not work hours. Samuel won't answer. Call him anyway. Stop with the nonsense. Owen snapped, clearly impatient. Sophia reluctantly started dialing, but none of her calls were answered. Owen scratched his head and flicked his cigarette away. Aren't you Samuel's woman? Why isn't he picking up? Have you two been fighting? Sophia looked at him confused. I'm just his subordinate. You're misunderstanding something. That's impossible. I checked. Samuel hasn't been interested in women for over 20 years. You're the only woman by his side. If you got in here, it's definitely because he opened a back door for you. Besides, you're so pretty. If he didn't like you, maybe he'd like men. Owen got frustrated, and the other kidnappers panicked too. If she's not Samuel's woman, then we wasted our time. Why keep this girl then? To avoid them killing us out of anger. I quickly said, Want me to call Samuel? They froze, complex looks flashing in their eyes. David whispered to a companion, "Damn, heard rich folks have wild tastes. Never thought Samuel actually liked men." Owen had no choice and ordered they untie me. I pulled Samuel's number from my blacklist and dialed. The call connected in less than 5 seconds. Samuel answered, surprised. "Ryan, you..." Before he could finish, I said straight, "Samuel, Sophia and I have been kidnapped." There was a brief silence on the other end, as if he thought I was joking. Owen grabbed the phone. "I don't have time for your chit-chat. Samuel, I want 30 million in cash by 10 a.m. tomorrow. I'll notify you of the address. You bring it yourself. No cops allowed. If not, your woman." He glanced at me. "And your man won't live. I'll prepare the money. Hope you keep your promise and don't hurt them." 11. When the appointed time came, Samuel arrived. He carried a black leather suitcase and said to Owen, "The money's all here. Can you release them now?" Owen had David open the suitcase to check the cash inside. "Everything's real money," David confirmed. Owen laughed loudly. "Thanks for bringing the money, Samuel, but today, none of you are leaving." 2 kidnappers approached Samuel with knives. Sophia and I finally understood. No wonder these guys weren't afraid of us seeing their faces. They never intended to let us live. While the kidnappers were watching the scene, I quietly crouched down and used a dagger on the floor to cut my ropes. Just as I was cutting Sophia free, Samuel knocked down the 2 kidnappers. Owen shouted at David and the other thug to attack Sophia and me, but in a flash, we broke free and started running towards Samuel. Bang! A gunshot rang out behind us. Samuel tackled me to the ground, and my head buzzed from the impact. At the noise, a group of police rushed in. Owen was shot dead on the spot, and the other kidnappers were arrested. Sophia, frightened, was held by Olivia in a comforting embrace. I pushed Samuel off me. "Get up, you're crushing me." Samuel didn't move. I smelled a strong metallic scent, blood. "Samuel," my lips trembled, panic rising inside me. Samuel's face was pale, his eyes tightly shut, and a large bloodstain spread on his chest like a huge rose. Doctors hurried over to examine him, saying the bullet was deep and surgery was urgently needed. At the hospital, Samuel was rushed into emergency surgery. After an hour, the bullet was successfully removed, but due to severe blood loss, Samuel remained unconscious. When my mom called, I choked back tears and lied, telling her Samuel and I were on a business trip in another province and would be back after some time. Samuel stayed in a coma for 3 days, and I stayed by his side at the hospital, touching his face. My feelings were complicated and confused. Everything that had happened felt like a dream. Samuel's face kept flashing through my mind, when he pulled me into his room, when he kissed me forcibly, when he shielded me from the bullet. Each moment reminded me that Samuel liked me, and maybe, I didn't dislike his feelings either. 12. After coming to terms with all this, when Samuel woke up, we had a serious talk. It turned out Samuel had liked me for a long time. There was never a substitute. The rumors about his white moonlight, Olivia, were false. After being discharged, he eagerly gave me a very formal confession. It was at the seaside in the city at night. Countless drones formed a huge pink heart in the sky, followed by "I love you" in various languages. Samuel looked at me with affection. "Ryan, I like you. Will you be with me?" People around us cheered. "Samuel, I'm not a little girl. Your confession is a bit too flashy," I said, though my face was bright red and my heart nearly jumped out of my chest. "Ryan, will you be with me?" he asked again, eyes full of hope. "Yeah," I nodded shyly, trying to be proud. He was overjoyed and cupped my face to plant a deep kiss. After the confession, he took me to a quiet villa. In the darkness, I only felt his burning kisses and our mingling breaths. After a while, he took my hand and moved it downward, his deep eyes filled with intense love and desire. "Baby, I need you." I followed his lead, doing things with another man for the first time. My hands got sore, but he still wanted more. After a night of indulgence, Samuel and I slept until the afternoon. My phone rang loudly. "Who's calling so early with a bunch of calls?" I answered, yelling, "Michael, what time is it? Why so early? Why hasn't Sophia been coming home lately?" I asked her, and she said, "You two broke up. What's going on? Are you out partying again? Why does your voice sound so hoarse?" After the call, I realized it was my mom. I instantly sobered up. "Mom, Sophia and I." Before I could make up a story, Samuel grabbed the phone. "Godmother, please stop pressuring Ryan. He and Sophia aren't right for each other." My mom paused, then said, "Samuel, why are you joining in the nonsense? Sophia's a good kid. If Michael doesn't suit her, then who does he suit? Who does he want? Godmother, Ryan and I are together now. What? Samuel said this, and I heard his mom snatch the phone from my mom. I hadn't planned to reveal it so soon, but now I had no choice. Well, better sooner than later. Godmother, sorry, Ryan and I are together. Samuel held my hand and knelt as soon as we got home. I knelt too. Both moms looked as dark as a burnt pot bottom. Do you know what you're doing? Samuel, Michael is still young, don't you understand? Both moms lectured us. I know, Mom, Godmother, I love Michael, please believe me, I'll treat him well. His mom sighed. Samuel, think carefully, even if you're Godmother and I don't oppose it, what about your dad and grandma? I'll talk to them. If worst comes to worst, I'll leave. Seeing Samuel's determination, they stopped arguing. Alright, a grown son is not controlled by his mother. We'll try to have another baby at this age. 13. Samuel's extra. My mom said when I was born, she thought I was slow. I didn't cry or smile, and seemed indifferent to everything. Clearly, such a baby seemed abnormal to them. They took me to many doctors and specialists. Some said I had low intelligence. Others suspected autism. My mom had prepared to raise me forever with my dad. The turning point came when I was just over 1. Before I could walk, my mom took me to visit her best friend. Little Samuel, you're here to see your brother. Aunt Emma smiled as she held the baby next to me. The little bundle looked soft and smiled at me. I couldn't help poking his cheek, and his tiny hand gripped mine tightly. My mom was pleasantly surprised. Usually, no matter how she and I tease him, he ignores us. I never thought he'd like Ryan so much. After that, my mom often brought me along. They chatted while I built Legos nearby, and Ryan lay in a rocking chair. A big bumblebee flew in and buzzed around Ryan. My mom and Aunt Emma were chatting excitedly, unaware. I anxiously wanted to shoo the bee away but was too small. Without realizing it, I stood up and learned to walk. My mom cried tears of joy, saying Ryan was my lucky star. Maybe it really was fate. Miracles happened. Besides a bit of shyness, I gradually became normal. My mom and Aunt Emma even adopted Ryan and me as godsons. Ryan loved clinging to me as a kid, but by elementary school, he started to dislike me. I didn't understand why. Aunt Emma wanted him to study hard like me, but he purposely slept in class and fought others. Once he got into a fight and lost a front tooth. Aunt Emma's eyes were red when she asked me to watch over Ryan outside. I agreed, but Ryan hated me bossing him around. So on the day he was going to fight a classmate, I planned to back him up. Who knew the principal found out, called Aunt Emma, and Ryan thought I had ratted him out, which made him hate me even more. I realized I was attracted to boys in high school. One morning, I woke up to a wet spot on the sheets and dreamed I was pinning Ryan down, kissing him. On the day I was drugged, I was furious, thinking of Ryan's face as I took a cold shower. But the colder the water, the hotter I felt. Hearing someone open the door, I angrily wanted to see who dared drug me. It was Ryan. I was both angry and happy, pulling him in immediately. When he cursed at me, I knew he wasn't the one who set me up, but since he was right there, after all these years of longing, how could I let him go? While kissing him senseless, I bit his earlobe and whispered seductively, "Baby, brother feels bad, relax, it'll feel good." Before he could reply, I took him, thanks to the drug, over and over. I overdid it, and Ryan got hurt, sleeping heavily. I felt so worried and scared. He hated me so much. Would he hate me more when he woke? Anxious, I skipped work to stay by his side. When he finally woke, I watched carefully. Thankfully, there was no hatred in his eyes. Hearing Aunt Emma tell my mom Ryan had a girlfriend, I lost it and spilled coffee all over my laptop. Ignoring everything else, I immediately ordered someone to check on Sophia. Luckily, it was a misunderstanding in the end. Ryan didn't like Sophia. It's okay if he doesn't like me, I'll make him like me. But if he dares like someone else, then I'll destroy the one he likes. After opening my heart to Ryan, I learned he didn't really hate me. He was just jealous I was better at winning over the elders. But he didn't know I'd also been jealous that he was better at charming them than me. After that, life went on. And finally, I found a lover to walk through life with.